we go.
They said Gray paved the way, chased the rain, released the pain, least you sane, getting paid, trend setting, brighter days, doper rap, tighter sets, high in deli, I'm a fighter jet, Jeremy Kane.
What's really good, ladies and gentlemen? Listen, we have Muffins Martinez, my brother from another mother, Mr. I am wrestling, right? Like that's his shtick. I am wrestling. I know more. Whatever I forget, you'll never know. Listen, it is what it is. He's Mr. Houston, according to others. Myself is the fake ass GTA. Rob K, I can't remember what it was, but
Mr. Korn.
MLW Confusion.
Mr. Korn.
That's the Corn Boy's father, Mr. Korn.
MLW Confusion.
No. It's MLW Korn. Korn.
That's what we're doing now?
Korn Fusion.
Okay. Well, because MLW isn't going weekly and we don't know when they are, we're going to take it upon ourselves to say, fuck it. We're going to talk whatever we want to talk until they do.
Say UWN. So, W is wrestling.
Yes.
You see, this is why he's the lawyer of the group. I think it was the lawyer. It is what it is. But
producer
NXT
and lawyer.
TNA has been pulling numbers for NXT, right? Like the whole NXtna thing has been pretty cool. No rivalries yet that we know of. No future storylines going forward, but numbers are high from what I'm hearing through certain people. The buzz keeps growing with this, and it feels like more Impact fans are actually buying into NXT now. So the once was, with the Impact fans or TNA fans were, fuck WWE, is more we love WWE now. The wrestlers are coming out like Moose and Jordana Grace and a bunch of others, Trey Miguel, have been saying we want, that op. We want to be on NXT. We want to challenge their guys. So we'll go into last night, right? One of the coolest things I seen, because listen, like we were talking in the chat, and I'm going to admit, I'm a Joe Hendry fan from ICW. I'm not a Joe Hendry fan in the Americas because they book him kind of goofy, and I don't really like goofy shit. Talented guy. Kazarian, anyone who's watched TNA, and I'm not talking TNA 2.0, I'm talking the original TNA where the X Division was the shit. Kazarian was doing his thing. So Kaz at this stage of his wrestling career, I see him backstage. He's got a dope picture with Shawn Michaels, and he's part of the Battle Royal. So I'm like, all right, another dinosaur, but Kaz is cool people, and I like the backstage. He's back there, and everything is cool because at this point, he's more of an elder statesman for the TNA Impact Wrestling product. So if we good, you good. Joe Hendry gets a crazy pop, right? Like, unlike Paxton, what's her name? Paxton Page?
Yeah, Tatum Paxley.
Tatum Paxton or Paxley, whatever. She comes to a pay-per-view and fucking crowd is crickets, right? What a disgrace that was. Luckily, Joe Hendry goes there. Now, I didn't know what to expect, but Joe Hendry's pop was fucking crazy. It's a dope, listen, his intro's cool, lights go out. He kind of has like that Chris Jericho feel with the lights and everything, and you're like, okay, fucking dope. Goes in, he starts arguing, gets thrown out in 1 minute and 43 seconds. Gentlemen, talk to me, because I said everything I had to say, so please throw your 2 pennies in the conversation. I don't care whoever.
You're the TNA guy, Muffins.
Yeah, you're the NXT guy.
NXtna guy.
Yeah. Well, just jumping off what Chubb said, when Joe Hendry was here the first time in TNA, which was already Impact, he got a horrible story, goofy shit. He was still doing those singing stuff, but it was like, and then he left, and then he came back, and this time it's like a whole different Joe Hendry. He has that song, say his name and he appears. It's Joe Hendry, the shit is everywhere. I mean, this damn song even hit the top 10 in the UK.
Yeah, it was number 1.
Yeah, I think he actually beat Taylor Swift out there in 1 week. So that right there should tell you how crazy this song is. Now he came out last night with Cass. He came out. He got a crazy reaction. People there knew the song. They were singing the song. He actually talked more than he lasted in the ring. So, like you said, he lasted maybe like not even 20 seconds, maybe 30 in the ring before he got kicked out. So whatever happened there, they went back to the drawing board and said, you know something, we might have underjudged Joe Hendry. He needs to come back. And the rumors are saying that he will be a fixture going forward there on Tuesday nights from TNA because of the crowd reaction that he got there. Now, Cass, like
he was beefing with Ethan Page, was it right?
Yeah, remember because from before, him and Ethan Page had a little thing in TNA before. So if you know wrestling, you know why that happened there. So they kind of picked up where they left off years ago. So that was kind of cool. But if you don't know, then you go like, why did these two guys join on each other for?
Yeah.
But Cass, being the elder star of TNA days from the beginning, he still came back to TNA, and he was there through the whole Battle Royal. I mean, he was the last four. So he got a good push. And then you saw with the picture on social media with Shawn Michaels. And if you followed the show, you saw Joe Hendry talking shit to Shawn Michaels and stuff like that in the picture. So if they're smart, both TNA and NXT, there's a buzz here. And the buzz is brewing and it's getting louder every week. So they need to take advantage of this buzz because it might be the beginning of something huge. Maybe that PLE that everybody keeps hoping that might happen. We might actually see that a TNA versus NXT, war thing kind of fun. And I'll be crazy if that ever happens. But right now, baby steps, crumbles are getting dropped. And if Joe Hendry is big in TNA, imagine him live every Tuesdays coming out to that damn song and having something with somebody there. That's going to be crazy. My only problem that I have is TNA can't return the favor because they're freaking taped 1 month ahead. So you can't do anything every Thursdays with TNA because it's taped.
Yeah.
Unless they decide like we need to jump on this boat too and get this fan base gear. And people are still complaining and bitching about they're still on that channel there and that they need to leave from there. You can't leave a channel that you own.
I was about to say, you're talking about Impact, right?
Yeah, on that channel.
They own it. Didn't they bought the TV channel for that?
Yeah, Access TV.
Yeah.
So they, Anthem bought it to have Impact, but for some reason they're still not reaching the masses like they thought it was going to be. So either somebody they're dropping the ball, or Access TV is not available in all the damn places. But we already moved up from that needle where you couldn't find shit to everything now is pretty much an app. Download the damn app.
So can I ask you, because you're saying that, right? You're saying that their numbers.
Rob, okay, my bad, right? Bro. We'll get to you in a minute, Rob.
Yeah. I just got to ask him one more question. So if the fans feel a certain way, right? Like, oh, well, we can't get, I think last week was 92,000 or something like that with the Hardys coming back or whatever, and that people feel away. Yeah. Okay, first off, if you're pissed off about 92,000, when I stopped kind of watching it, it was at like 60,000, right? Like Impact was in a bad place. Going up to 92,000, yeah, it's not the greatest. Your network might not be the greatest, but they don't ever have to have that worry TNA once had or Impact Wrestling, because remember, everything was, oh my God, where are we going to be next? Because they were jumping from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. So now you have a stable market where you control your own market. You can put it whatever time you want. It's your fucking channel. Relax. Now, the only thing I think would be cool is if WWE is going to make that play, you could actually have a dope fucking lead up and have that TNA take over NXT and it becomes the new brand or whatever. And then you'll still have people complaining. Oh, why did that WWE have to buy TNA? Calm the fuck down. What do you want? Because what is it, TKA or whatever? No, what's it?
TKO.
TKO. My fault. TKA is a fucking freestyle group.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah. But if TKO buys this shit and puts their financial backing and has all the kind of fucking cool shit that WWE could do, TNA fucking takes a stupid, crazy level leap. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Stop bitching. My fault, Rob.
No, I want to say one more thing before Rob jumps. Just imagine, because this is all just hearsay. Just imagine. Yeah. Just imagine TNA, like people complaining about, we can't find no Access TV. And WWE, TKO, The Rock reaches out to Peacock. And then Peacock grabs TNA and puts on their brand of we're going to get now TNA here on Peacock, like they did with MLW did with what the stupid show they were doing that channel last year.
Underground?
No, last year. That was the police station channel.
Oh yeah. Vice. Vice.
No,
TV.
not Vice. No, they I can't think of what it's called now, but yeah. They brought back Underground for like 10 weeks on it
was called MLW Underground, and it was like on this one specific channel, and
and then of course that was absorbed by Peacock. So then you could they couldn't show
channel.
Yeah,
So just imagine Peacock reaching out to Access TV and then put them in Peacock, where now, dude, all you need to do is just pay the Peacock. And now you have all the WWE shit on top of TNA stuff right there available, right there. Then no one can complain because more eyes will actually see TNA. But once again, this is just us throwing shit out there. Right. Imagine if something like that happens.
Well, the problem is people are going to complain no matter what. So if they don't do anything, people will complain about that. If they do something, people will complain about that.
Hey, Rob K, you losing weight. Oh, he looks too skinny. Hey, Rob K, you gaining weight. Nah, he looks too damn fat. Rob K, we like the glasses. They don't look that good on him. Hey, Rob K, you should put that hat on with the Debo. Nah, that looks stupid. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's always going to be something wrong. And I can make arguments pro and against. Like, actually, at a certain workers' rights part of me says it'd actually be a terrible idea for TKO to purchase TNA, because you need more independent organizations to make sure wages stay up. But that's a whole nother argument we could be having. Yeah,
we're not doing that smart shit here, all right, buddy?
Yeah,
we're not doing that smart shit.
Like, we are talking battle royals, which is something I love. I love being a good battle royal. However, I'm going to point out, like, the choice of participants, even at just 2, was an absolutely brilliant move by NXT. I'm not sure who made the final decision on which roster members of TNA to take, but it was perfect, because in the form of Kazarian, you do have this elder statesman of TNA. He spent a lot of time in TNA. But he's something casual fans might remember just because he's also been everywhere in his 20-year career too. Yes, he was a TNA guy, a part of the X division during his formative years. He, broke out a bit as a member of what was originally Bad Influence, and then became SoCal Uncensored. Which then led to AEW, where they were the inaugural tag team champions. So Kaz has got name value out there as well, in addition to being, a very good professional wrestler and a great guy for the younger talent of NXT to kind of latch onto. Yes.
One more thing. I remember, Chef. Remember when they got fired or they left Impact at that time? DC Carter was still there. And they mailed Kazarian in a box to Daniels, or the opposite. And they say, they didn't know what happened. They didn't renew me, and they just put me in a box and shipped me out. And I think that's when they went to Ring of Honor. At that time, Ring of Honor was still by itself, so they went to Ring of Honor. And then when the Ring of Honor shit happened with AEW, they jumped to AEW. But I still remember that thing when he got shipped in a box and Daniels received him at his house and opened the box. I don't know what happened. They just put me in a box and shipped me out.
And I'm also going to use this opportunity, since we're talking about SCU in general. I miss Appletini Daniels. Just going to throw that out there too. Daniels is doing his little strut with an Appletini in hand. to that, and that theme was a banger. The original Bad Influence theme was a banger. That used to be one of my Get Hyped songs back 10 years ago. But I digress. So yes, Kaz is a great choice. And then too, like, yeah, he has all this name, he has the name value, he has the respect, but he's also a guy that, like, you can just kind of do whatever with him in the Battle Royal, and he's going to be fine. Like, it's not like taking Moose and like having him like not win. Like Kazarian, you can kind of just do whatever and he'll be fine for it, because he fits into whatever role, and it won't look bad if he doesn't win, or if he got eliminated early, or, well, you could be Joe Hendry and, you know, be eliminated in a minute 44. Like, that would have been whatever role you needed for Kaz had been fine. It wouldn't necessarily be a black eye for TNA, or like be viewed as burying TNA within this Battle Royal. So Kaz is perfect on that. And then two, Joe Hendry. You know, I believe that's great. But he, you know, right now he is going viral. Like he is going to be like, he's got a lot of buzz to him. So if you're going to nab someone else, again, who's not necessarily an integral part of TNA, and you can kind of do something with the pop of the crowd, while not necessarily being forced to win or being buried if he doesn't win, you do Joe Hendry, because again, he's gone viral. He's got all this momentum going for him in the social stratus, and obviously it's leading to views for NXT. So that is great. And then obviously, given the promos, it looks like they are going to do something with him, you know, in the future, because you don't get to cut a promo, you know, ragging on Shawn Michaels and then not go anywhere. And I will also note, like, if we're gonna, like, I think the current, I think Joe Hendry in general is a perfect fit for NXT, because they do run the gamut of, they do run a little bit goofy and gimmick heavy down there. So like his shtick would be perfect, especially if he continues the whole thing, his usual thing, especially in ICW, of doing these parody songs for his opponents. Like that will get over like Rover.
Oh yes,
in NXT if they're already not familiar with this stuff. Like just one or two good songs off that good songs will just send him over the moon. Like that's like when he started going viral. Like I wasn't familiar with his work. Luckily, ICW has like every single one of his parodies on their YouTube channel. Just the parodies, not even not even the match. Just the parodies, and it stops right before the bell rings. So it's a great way to kind of, I mean, YouTube's a great way to, you know, freshen up your knowledge on certain professional wrestlers anyway. And you know, so if you haven't, go check those out. I am personally a huge fan of his Mr. Anderson battle video. That one is absolutely hilarious and goes off the rails in the best way possible. But that again, like going back to my original point, like choosing those two are perfect, because you can build something up with Joe Hendry, and Kazarian can teach something to the younger talent in NXT. And again, something bad, aka those two don't have to win or look particularly strong within the Battle Royal, and you're not burying TNA in the process too, which is something that you really have to balance out when you're doing a collaboration such as this.
I mean, that made a lot of sense. So you're like, yep.
Now, what I want and what I'm waiting for is more female stuff, man. You know, we already had that Jordan Grace there at the show with Roxanne Perez. We had Tatum Paxley against Jordan Grace at the TNA. Ooh, I mean, hopefully if they do something with more females, they'll bring one or two from TNA, you know.
I want to see Ash by Elegance come in and be like, this is the title I couldn't win and it's mine now.
I was even thinking about her. I was thinking more of Tasha Steelz, you know.
Oh, give me some. I mean, give me some Dana Brooke, man.
Yeah, Tasha Steelz is hot again. I just saw her in a video wrestling down with the K down in Mexico, and in a 6-man woman, and you know she's back to getting back her mojo again, because she was out for a while there, you know, some personal issues or whatever. But she came back where she left off, man. I would love her to go up there, team up, mess around with Lola Vice or even Roxanne Perez, make a little crew of Latinas and shit. You know, go up there and kick some butt. You never know, man. But, you know, it's always guys and guys and guys. But in this time with TNA, NXT, we started with the females. So hopefully,
I mean, honestly, I mean, sorry to interrupt, but like as you should, because both those promotions are known for their women's division. I mean, like, for God's sakes, like that, the X division and the Knockouts division is like 9/10 of good TNA throughout its history. Like, if you like, those are about the only things that have been booked consistently over there through the decades.
Unfortunately, TNA's female division has kind of been falling flat lately. They might
but they got a solid base though. That it shouldn't be. It won't be.
It's not. Doesn't. I don't know, for some reason it's not getting the same. I don't know. There's something missing.
Well, you get like, I mean, with their division though, you get like you get some good ideas to catch flame though, because like Masha Slamovich is one of the best wrestlers in the world, period, regardless of gender. You know, and they have the people, and they have other people with experience. Like, you can say what you want about Ash by Elegance, but she's been around the block. She knows how to work the television style. You know, they've had the variations of Decay and whatever else going through there.
Now,
like,
they have the women's title in TNA and the tag team, right?
Yeah.
They don't have another title in the between, right?
Nah, it's just those two.
Just those two, and I think like social media is an open gender.
And the NXT, they have the women's title, and now they put an NXT North American women's title because they took away the tag team title last year when Chef's homegirls there had them.
They merged.
And the other chick, but they took the titles away and they never brought them back to NXT. So I don't know why they got rid of things.
I think the women's tag thing is easier to drop, because if you just have single women, it's easier to book than trying to have tags. You're trying to develop.
But TNA has the tag team with one belt, and now NXT has two single belts. I mean, so imagine you sending one tag team from NXT, you know, the Metaphor, Yahara Jackson and her tag team for one match against whoever the tag team champions are here on TNA. Dude, I mean, that's how you work a partnership.
But that's what we want. Like, I would love a tag team from NXT to come in, win the tag team belts, and then have a TNA girl with that North American belt. Yes. Like, so you could do your cross branding thing. It doesn't always have to be nothing involved,
exactly.
Right? Like, real partnership.
Imagine the TNA title as being held at NXT and then being, defended every other week on live TV. I mean, that TNA title will get some needed fame under it. You know, like, this title is being defended on national TV, even at a PLE. Holy shit, you defending another company's title on a different TV show that has nothing to do with you. You know, that's how you build those bridges, and hopefully the one word that we all know happens, egos don't take over. If they could put the egos aside.
Though I would play contrarian to this one, because I am not a big fan of coming in right away and having title switches with a collaboration feud come on. Like, that was like, well, okay, let me go. Okay, I want to preface this with that. Yeah, if it happens at all. But because I one of the first biggest things I hated about the original WCW invasion with the WWE, is that they hot potatoed WCW titles around everywhere. Like, it was, everyone was popping one like it was candy. And I felt
that was Vince trying to shit on the product.
No, and it was. But again, like, I'm not necessarily sure it would be great for the TNA Championship, regardless of the TNA Championship, whether it's the Knockouts, whether it's the X Division, etc., to pop right away, air quotes, with an NXT champion. Like, I think it's a wee bit. I want to see this relationship blossom before we start putting the titles into play, because otherwise you are possibly, like, indirectly devaluing the TNA titles, or even the NXT titles, if they can just be won just like that by an invader. And especially in the case if a TNA title is won by an NXT person, like, I definitely think WWE, even what is considered developmental in NXT, though it depends on who you're talking to, whether it's developmental or not. I think you're really setting yourself up next to a cliff. For an NXT person, a rookie or someone in developmental is going to be taking your division's top championship relatively soon in the relationship.
I think,
but this comes in if assuming any of this happens at all, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that word works for certain talents of developmental, maybe like the athletes that we don't really know about, that they're not big on the indies and then they come over, whatever. But like a girl like Roxy, she's not a development. She was in MLW, Ring of Honor, and then NXT. She's killing it. Braun Breaker should have been called up last year. Yeah. He's killing it, right? There's a lot of talents that sit there. The Carmelo Hayes, I don't know if he got called up. But, you know, there's so many guys that they're so talented, I wouldn't even use the developmental work with them. But, like, I mean, not for nothing. You have to – somebody has to do a real partnership, right? Like, we're an MLW podcast, and we're talking everything because MLW don't have fucking content. But you see them working with CMLL, right? We've gotten a bunch of guys from CMLL in MLW, and barely anybody – has jumped back over to CMLL. Pro Wrestling Noah. We had, I think, like 3 or 4 guys of the recent one over here. We had none over there, right? Like, Impact Wrestling just did a massive pay-per-view. Who was it? New Japan, right? Where they had, like, it was Impact Wrestling in New Japan. Didn't they do one?
Yeah, they do. They at least had, like, Okada come back. Like, I don't know if they full on partnered, but yeah, they definitely had some. They had an agreement.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was more recent than years.
No, they've recently, like before Okada went to AEW, he popped up in TNA again because people made a lot of jokes about him coming in and just like winning all the titles by himself as revenge for how he was revenge.
But you never really seen anyone else come to TNA, right? Like, so you're like, okay, now with this one. You can't tell me this isn't a partnership because if it was just Jordana Grace going against Roxy and that was it, cool. But then you had the Tatum girl.
Tatum.
She comes over. You're like, okay, this is interesting because now there's more. And now you just had Hendry and Kaz there. So you're like, okay, we're seeing an influence go back and forth.
And the problem is, and that's the problem is with TNA being taped, you can't return the favor now because they're still in the middle of whatever was taped being shown.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to wait till the next time, whenever the hell that's at, for the next pay-per-view or next taping that they have. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of going, but at least like you said, we're seeing something, and this is what should have happened years ago when AEW and Impact were doing something. This was supposed to happen there and never happened.
So, and I want to trade this because all politics. Listen, but that's the industry. It's all politics. Yeah. So, I was like, we didn't even talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it because I want to talk about it. Drew Galloway supposedly said, I'm done with WWE, right? Yeah. Now, we did see Drew Galloway in ICW. Now, WWE, I don't think is working with ICW anymore, so that's irrelevant. But do you think it would be pretty dope if Drew Galloway showed up kind of representing Impact Wrestling in a way towards fuck WWE? Because he did say, and we all know he's not going nowhere, but
he just re-signed with the company like not long ago.
So that'd be kind of cool if they reference his time at TNA when he was a champion at TNA and comes back. Well, I'm not in WWE, but I'm working with TNA now because at least they respect me and stuff like that. You know, that'd be kind of cool if that. That'd be crazy out of left field. Something like that happens. I mean, that'd be crazy if that happens.
Yeah. It's that again to be contrarian. It's a double-edged sword. Like on one hand, that would be awesome.
Hey, that's our lawyer. He has to.
It would be amazing. But then again, referencing the invasion, they took a bunch of WWE guys and turned them into WCW guys because they didn't think WCW had the proper star power to compete with WWE. I'm not going to say that that's happened. I think Drew's injured right now, so I don't think it's going to happen. At least not for the next.
That's what it was. He was injured, so he wanted to.
I think that's why. Like, it's not anything major, but It might keep him out for. I mean, again, I haven't read the full.
I think I have read that his wife went to the hospital the same time when he was having his match for the title there in Scotland.
Oh, well, that.
So I think that's another reason why he did that storyline, to take off and be there with her while all the issues, whatever's going on, is gets taken care of. So,
well, in that case, thoughts of prayers to the wife.
That's what I heard.
Hope everything's going well over there. But kind of again tying into this creative storyline, like on one hand, like that would be freaking amazing, and if they pull it off well, like okay. You can come up with the stupidest thing, and as long as you pull it off well, like it'll work. So, I mean, I'm not gonna like 100% poo-poo everything, but just again, we're playing an ego game. We're also playing with the WWE. Like, despite Uncle Vince not being involved, it's still the WWE because the guy in charge of creative still has a massive ego on his own end too.
Triple H,
no,
the
man with 3 H's.
I'm not going to allow that blasphemy in here. Triple H seems like an aces kind of guy with no ego.
Let's just be honest. If Uncle Vince was still there,
I mean, this wouldn't have happened at all. Uncle Vince was there.
No way.
This would be stage 1 of a merger if Uncle Vince was
First
involved.
of all, Uncle Vince would have fired that person who brought up the idea.
It would have been that. It would have been that meme where they're in a board meeting and someone's like, "What can we do for this?" And then here's like stupid idea, psychopathic idea, and then the third guy has a good idea, and they chuck him out the window.
Yeah,
like that. That's exactly what would happen. That meme would just be real life. But yeah, I don't know. Again, everything else, like I'm being contrarian just because of history. Because those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. In the end, will this be different? Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and that's to watch it unfold in front of us in real time. That being said, of course, like I love me some Joe Hendry. It is a good start to build some things up, and right now, arguably is the most interesting time to be a fan of professional wrestling, not just in WWE, not just in AEW, but the sport of professional wrestling.
That was solid.
Because if WWE can pull this off with TNA, Tony Khan is thinking of a way to do something with Billy Corgan or somebody or somebody from LW. If they're doing that, we could do it too.
And that will be great for business in general.
Yeah. Until he messes it up with his ego, and then he'll destroy the little company.
Why y'all keep saying this man got an ego?
Who, TK?
Now we got a new man with an ego.
Everybody got an ego.
Yeah, everybody's got an ego. It's how they choose to use it. That's why I continuously shit on Billy Corgan.
Dude, well, listen, you won't get no backlash from me. Jeff, I do not like him.
Bro, Chef and that man, I think, almost went blow to blow back in 2016.
He tried to act funny. And sometimes you got to tell people.
I will pay money to see Chef versus Billy Pumpkins. I will buy that pay-per-view. Billy Pumpkins.
No disrespect, I would.
Billy Pumpkins, are you watching this? I will pay good money for a pay-per-view versus you, man. No, you don't even need the N.W.A. championship. And no other matches, just Chef Billy Pumpkins. Yeah. I don't know, maybe if you really want to do something stupid with it, have Tyrus out of breath in the background, because the man is when it existed. But, dude. Okay.
I'm with it.
I'm done being stupid now. Not really, because that's all I do is be stupid, but I'm done being off the wall stupid until you guys give me another terrible idea.
I was like, Chef, leave that man alone, bro. Leave him alone.
Listen, the one thing I will say, in a positive note towards Billy Corgan, is he's taken N.W.A. from the graveyard and made it relevant again. Yep. So mad respect to him on that. That's the only props I'll ever give that guy. Well, yeah, the butt fumble on that one was crazy. But N.W.A. is doing well. TNA is on a rise. AEW is doing great. WWE is doing great. There's a lot of really cool things happening. So watch. You know what I'm saying? If you're a wrestling fan and you say, I can't find something to watch, there's 6 billion companies to watch. Fucking
go to YouTube.
If nothing else, go support your local industry.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the city that you live in has a promotion that you might never heard of, but they have a wrestling show at least every couple of months. So,
yeah, facts. So, listen, are we done for a week? When are we dropping this?
Well, this is it, Friday. Yeah, and then we come back on Monday fresh.
Oh yeah, and since we're talking about the future, whenever this drops, hopefully it's before. What's the show? Is it? That's not
Saturday.
Yet.
What is it? 9 o'clock.
10
o'clock. Saturday, 10 o'clock. We'll be going live, right?
Yes.
So, we also hit 700. So that's a big accomplishment. We hit 700 subscribers. Yeah, facts. We hit it this morning. I don't know. So 700 subscribers. Now, y'all got to keep submitting, get to subscribe and all that good shit to 800. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to try to keep hitting milestones. Salute to my big homies, because this is what it is. Listen, one piece of content which blew my mind. I made graphics for no reason. So, ladies and gentlemen, fine. Yeah, facts. Like I said, we're going live. Come fuck with us Saturday night, 10 o'clock.
Yes.
I'll probably have the youngest with me. Probably ain't gonna jump on camera, but you'll probably hear him.
I'll have the wife in the corner, and I'll tell her she can only speak in profanities, like I did last time. And then she proceeded to not use profanities at all, and I was sad.
So,
we might have it this time.
We might have Mrs. K, Buffett Martinez, OG Boricua Dundada. But these two crazies, we out of here. Deuces. Happy Friday.
Deuces.